Do I actually agree with Wes Watson? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, Wes Watson. He's become quite the punching bag, you know what I'm saying, for content creators here on YouTube. Like, you just mention his name, especially if you make a video with his name in the title and you're talking shit about him, your views are gonna go up. Why the fuck you think I'm making this video right here? I need the views up. Come on. Nah, but real talk, like, Wes Watson has been around for a little bit. And as of late, like, people are getting tired of his shit. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I know him personally. I don't know him personally. I don't make it a habit of just talking shit about people I don't know personally. That's just not my code. But this shit is funny. This shit is hilarious. And I'm gonna break it down a little bit and also tell you some place that I actually agree with him. So look, if we analyze this whole thing, Wes Watson is a product of, and I'll even go as far as to say probably responsible for the demise of lifestyle influencer marketing. You pretty much curate your lifestyle. You can get a bunch of rented cars, mansions, just paint yourself up to look like this high profile figure in order to draw in people who aren't quite there or not even close to there, and they try to sell you this fairy tale that if you follow them, if you buy whatever thing they're selling, that you're eventually going to be able to achieve the level of success that they've portrayed themselves as having achieved. And this shit's worked for the longest time. Y'all remember Ty Lopez in the garage, and it's like, yo, if you buy my course and do XYZ, you're gonna be able to achieve the Lambo in the garage or whatever the thing that represents prestige to this particular demographic. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man, that era is about done. I think people are starting to see through it. People are starting to kind of get tired of, like, everybody got a, you know, they leaning on a rented Lambo. They got a fake ass rollie on their thing, and they're portraying themselves in these reels and these TikTok videos and all this shit like they're top tier. And in Wes Watson's case, he's even putting on like he's the tough guy, and he's selling the story, the penitentiary thing, and it's appealing to people who might have been in the penitentiary, who got out. Their life ain't really doing nothing right now, and they look at him and they go, well, I got tattooed, he got tattooed, I did time in the pen, he did time in the pen, he got money. That should mean that I should be able to get money. I should listen to him and whatever he's talking about. And I think it's worked for him. Obviously, somebody is buying into it. He's got millions of followers. Now, how he's got there is, look, I don't know. I question the authenticity of a lot of that shit, but what do I know? I'm on the outside looking in. He could be very well helping a lot of people. And I think this is where a lot of people kind of, you know, they don't read between the lines. So you got to understand, people like Wes Watson, and I'll go as far as to say even the main creators that are critiquing him, like the John Bravo or Greg Doucette, these are all characters. These are all characters. These are characters that they've created in order to entertain you. But if you read between the lines and you kind of listen to what's being said, I don't think 100% of what Wes Watson puts out there is garbage, is nonsense. I would say like 90% of it. But again, there's also an element where he's talking about sobriety. Now, does he live that? I don't know. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? We don't really check for the messenger as much as we're trying to absorb the message. But anyway, I got hip to Wes Watson probably like a year or two ago. One of his ads came across my thing, probably how you seen him too. And I looked at it, I said, you know, this ain't for me. But the more and more I saw him pop up, the more I'm like, this dude is funny, man. He's a funny guy. Like, it's an SNL skit that is just like continued to play out in front of our eyes. And I just think a lot of it is funny, but you know, I know it's not for me. I'm not that dude. I don't want to be like that. None of that's for me. But I listen because I noticed other people were listening and paying attention. And you know, there were some things that I heard the man say that I'm just like, okay, I could dig that. And to be honest, like anybody, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people who get a lot of hate or you know, have a bad reputation online, if you listen, you can find something valuable in what they say. Something, maybe one thing, you know, valuable in what they say. And so as I'm listening to Wes Watson talk, the one thing that I've heard recently that I have to say I agree with is so ironic that I have to play it for you.
If you don't like something or you don't like someone, you wouldn't spend your life knowing everything about that person or spending any time in that person's life. That person would be insignificant to you. You don't like it. It's just, I don't like it. Moving on with my life. So what form of mental illness is this where someone supposedly doesn't like you, but they spend every waking hour thinking about you, learning about you, and obsessing over you?
So this is the clip that I saw it on the John Bravo video, but this is the clip that a lot of people are using to talk shit about him. And again, the irony is that what he's saying is actually true. If you don't like someone, if someone rubs you like somebody rubs you the wrong way that much, why are you following them? And to a further extent, why are you going out of your way to investigate their life? Why are you going out of your way to make this content about him? You know, there's this episode, it's a Halloween episode of The Simpsons, where the mascots and shit come to life, and they come up with a song, just don't look, and that's how you get rid of things. Just ignore it. But for some reason, when it comes to this dude Wes Watson, everybody wants to talk about him, and the more you talk about him, the more popular you're making him. His name starts to like I said, I put it in the title of this video, that's why you watching it. But I get it. Are you guys familiar with the term schadenfreude? It's basically taking pleasure in someone else's demise. And that's what people are doing right now. I think that is more so what it is when it comes to Wes Watson. I don't think people dislike him as much as they get pleasure from watching him squirm. And they understand, here's another piece of irony. You got this tough guy, you know what I'm saying, with the tattoos and, you know, however he got his muscles, none of my business. But you've got this just wannabe tough guy getting just verbally destroyed by a bunch of internet guys that may or may not go to the gym, you know, may or may not be able to fight, and he can't and probably won't do a damn thing about it. That's what's so hilarious about the whole thing. But like I said, the piece that I get with is, if you really don't like him or anybody, if there's a reason why somebody rubs you the wrong way, you should be actively getting them out of your space. Stop looking at them. Stop following them. But that's not the case with Wes Watson. So I think that what he said was true, like 100% true. But when we actually think about what's going on with this guy, and it's so funny because, you know, Baller Busters and all of these sites, they take anything that he says and they turn it into a meme. I heard there's a whole Reddit subreddit about this dude. I don't fuck around on Reddit, so I don't know, you know, what that's about. But for there to be, you know, this dude's got a couple million followers, if I'm not mistaken, and for there to be that many people following him and just as many people parodying him to the point of just pure ridicule. It's just like, almost, if he wasn't who he was, you'd feel bad for him, you know. But it's just like every time he opens his mouth, you're like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my take on the whole thing. I think it's a clown show. I really do. I think it's a grown man soap opera that's kind of playing out in front of everybody, all of these content creators. And it's not just him, but like content creators who make content about other content creators. I mean, I guess this shit's entertaining. I'm not in that boat because I don't follow enough of these people that closely to be able to make a whole ass video about them. This shit I'm talking about, Wes Watson, it's nothing you haven't already seen, you know. And it's also pretty damn obvious, right, that you know, what he's talking about, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. His brand is taking a whipping right now. I don't even know what's going on with the other guys that y'all are bringing into the mix with the cartel and the big boy and I don't know nothing about that. None of my business. We over here getting money. We over here getting in the best shape of our lives possible. But that's really what I wanted to drop about the whole Wes Watson thing. I think it's hilarious. I don't particularly take joy in watching somebody fail like that, except for Hawk to a Girl. I'm very thrilled that whole thing is starting to die down, because that was some nonsense. If you want me to make a video about the Hawk to a shit, I will most definitely do that. That's one I don't mind ripping apart because that was stupid from jump. And whoever made that famous, you should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway, thank you for tapping in. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if y'all rock with Wes Watson. I'm pretty sure you don't. If you don't rock with Wes Watson, let me know why. Let me know why that dude is not your vibe. What was the thing that made you go, that guy? Let me know.